Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Ben Stockwell, and today I'm joined by Jackie Brown, a senior at Adelphi University, who's a member of the field hockey team and also this year's NE10 Student Athlete Advisory Committee SAC co-vice chair. So Jackie, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Glad to have you on here. So just first, kind of question for those who don't know you, who are you? Where are you from? What are you all about?
So I'm a rising senior and captain on the Adelphi field hockey team. I'm from a very small town out on Long Island, Port Jefferson. It's about like an hour and 15 away from school. I'm on track to get my MBA in management, specializing in marketing. So I'll be done after my grad year. I got involved in SAC when I was a sophomore. And I got introduced to field hockey when I was about 5 years old, and I fell in love with it and really happy where I ended up.
Nice. You kind of talked about that and, where you happy you ended up, both probably skill level wise and also the school. What drew you to Adelphi and what ultimately made you pick Adelphi as a college?
There are a few things. One of my role models from when I was growing up actually played field hockey at Adelphi, so I kind of wanted to follow in her footsteps. I thought it was an awesome place. I knew they had a good business program, a good field hockey program. I actually had the opportunity to play with some of the girls who were on the team before I was for my travel team, East End Field Hockey. So it's nice the fact that I knew some of the girls coming in. And on that same point, I also had Coach Moore for a little bit as my travel coach. So I kind of knew her coaching aspect and philosophy before I even came in.
Oh, that must have made the transition a lot easier knowing what you're getting into. Yeah. So off of that, you were involved with Student Athlete Advisory Committee. How did you get involved in it? And, what has your involvement been like over the course of your time at Adelphi?
So I got involved my sophomore year, just being a part of the SAC. When I was a senior in high school, I was actually president of our varsity club, which is very similar, like same philosophy. I love the fact that they focus on community service. That's a big thing for me. I love giving back, whether it's like doing stuff with the team or just stuff on my own. And then from there, I applied to be on the executive boards, and now I help run SAC with my advisor and other executive board members. I'm also the diversity and inclusion rep, the NE10 rep, and then obviously now the NE10 co-vice chair.
Nice. And, for those who might not know about it, what would be your advice, or, why do you think it's important for people to want to get into it, and how can it help you in your, academic journey and then later on, you think?
I think academically, it was a nice place to kind of feed off each other and see like who had the better professors, like how they were able to handle their course load during season and off season, because obviously it's a big struggle for a lot of athletes. I just like the fact that it was a good place for everyone to voice their opinion. So any problems they had with their team or anything that's on campus or even like out in our community, it was a great place to like bounce ideas off each other and basically just use the voice that we have in the presence of being student athletes on campus.
For you, you talked about getting your MBA. So is it a 5-year program? And, what kind of goals do you have, going with that going forward?
So that's a 4+1. So I'll finish my undergraduate this year and then do 1 year to get my master's. Ideally, I'd love to get into the field of event planning, which is also a reason why I got into SAC, because we do a lot of community service events. So I'd love to work with like nonprofits or any like bigger corporations or professional teams and help them coordinate stuff like that.
So for you, business classes, there's a lot of them. What's the best class or one of the best classes you've taken while at Adelphi?
I would probably say my marketing class. I think it was my sophomore year. We got to work with Geico for our end of the year project. So they had us develop a business plan to help promote their CSR, which is their corporate social responsibility. And they actually took a lot of our ideas from our group and implemented them. So it was really cool to actually like see all the stuff that we planned for a couple of months, like transition to something like a real company would use. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it really made it feel worthwhile and gave you hope for my ideas actually, mean something and can matter. So that's pretty cool. Kind of going off the academic side to your team, if I were to ask some of your teammates, what's one word they would use to describe you that you think?
I'd probably say very organized, along with being now a rising captain. I'm also in charge of community service for our team. So I'm always in charge of finding different events or different nonprofits we can get back to. So we've done League of Yes, breast cancer awareness, Tunnel to Towers, Read Across America, Yards for Yardley, and a whole bunch of other ones. So I get very organized and nice.
That's awesome. Your community service, you seem like that's really a big thing for you, and that's really awesome. For you, I guess with that, what's the biggest community service project you've worked on during either your school, at Adelphi or beforehand, that you really feel the most passionate, that you made a difference in some way?
That's a good question. I guess with my time at Delphi, I'd probably be either Ronald McDonald or Make-A-Wish, because I know SAC, we get very involved in Make-A-Wish, so we always have different charity games, stuff like that. But Ronald McDonald was just something different. Like, it was so cool to see all our teammates like feel really good about getting back and seeing all the families that were end up living in the house and all the kids, and it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, that one, I'm sure you really could see the response to your guys' work, which is pretty cool. For you guys on the field, what would you say is your best sports moment so far been at Adelphi?
I would probably say this past year, we had our highest ranking in a long time. We had a pretty successful overall record, and we made it to NE10 playoffs. For me personally, I think it was when we ended up, this was sophomore year, we beat Stonehill, which was ranked #1 in the country, and we had a 5-0 shutout, so that was really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Prior to Adelphi, is there a special sports memory that sticks out in your mind, maybe club or high school?
Not field hockey related. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, so I played field hockey, softball, and basketball. And probably the coolest, most memorable moment I had was when we won counties for the first time in 90 years. So our motto was "Party like it's 1927." So that was really cool, and we ended up going all the way up to the state final. We ended up losing the buzzer, but that whole playoff experience was awesome.
That's a pretty unique situation for sure.
Yeah.
For you, what's your favorite sport other than field hockey?
I would probably say softball. That was another sport I played a lot. So coming from a small school, a lot of us get pulled up in middle school for varsity. So I had the privilege to be pulled up in 7th grade in both field hockey and softball. And also on that same track, my mom was my coach. So I had her for 6 years. That was definitely an interesting experience, but I really like softball. I really considered playing in college. I was like, maybe I'll play both or just focus on field hockey or softball. So I really decided my junior year that I wanted to stick with field hockey, but softball was a close second.
Oh, that's awesome. How was it with your mom coaching? You guys get along pretty well?
Sometimes it really depends on the game, but I wouldn't trade for anything else.
Awesome. That's very cool. For you, obviously, COVID and everything has really changed everything for the last 6-7 months. What are the best TV shows or books you've read or shows you've watched over this time period? Anything sticks out?
When quarantine first started, our family got very into Netflix. So we watched All American, Outer Banks, Criminal Minds, Grey's Anatomy. We just had a binge watching event, which was kind of cool because my older brother goes to Miami and he came home because he just graduated. So it was nice to have everyone back in the house again. So it was nice, family bonding activity that we did.
Oh, that's awesome. For you, do you have a favorite place to eat, either back home in Port Jefferson or in the Adelphi area?
There's 2 favorite places, one here, one at home. At home, it's Seaport Deli. Great sandwiches, highly recommend. And out at school, it's My 3 Sons. Love their breakfast sandwiches.
Okay. At the deli, what's the go-to sandwich you have to get there?
Is it the morning or at night? Or afternoon, I guess?
Either one. What's just your favorite?
Okay, breakfast has to be bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel. And for lunch, I would probably say the Boone. So that's chicken cutlet, cheese, bacon, Russian on a hero. It's amazing.
Okay, nice. And finally, you've been involved with, SAC for a while. What are you guys hoping to, accomplish this year, both, for you at your school and then for the NE10 at large?
I think definitely just help people with the transition of having all these online classes, because definitely thrown at us last spring. And for a lot of schools, either going to be mostly online or a few in person. So definitely with the mental health and staying in, because I know I'm a little concerned about not playing this fall. But I know with the support from my teammates, my coach from SAC, and all my advisors, that they'll help me get through the process. So definitely making sure everyone's mental health is in check.
But yeah, that is huge for you guys, and with all the fall athletes who can't participate right now, it's tough. Well, Jackie, that's really all I have. So I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to join me today, and yeah, I really appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and it was a lot of fun.